Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 2nd of October, comes to you from London. And the news that's rocking the markets this morning is that Donald Trump has coronavirus, and we're seeing the futures off in the US down quite significantly, which we'll take a look at the moment. A lot of red on the screen, and really one of the key things is that in downtrends, markets will react more badly to bad news. So we'll look at that. This is, of course, the dollar. I look at currencies first. My long-term weekly, my medium-term daily, and my short-term 60-minute chart with the corresponding point and figure charts. So. And we'd look at the energy mix at the end of this. So if we look at the euro, we're seeing the euro climbing. So the dollar is still just a bit weaker, and sterling is sitting at 129, so that has edged up against a weaker dollar, and against the euro we're sitting at 110.17, so sterling has also had a little bit of a recovery the last few days there. Taking a look at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $10,400, so we've sunk to a bearish situation below the cloud yesterday, quite a big fall there, down several $100s. So Bitcoin just taking its time to run higher, still holding bullish on that long-term chart, of course. The S&P 500 index was up last night, but as we said, the market closed before the news on Trump came through. And if we look at the Nasdaq, much the same. We were higher, and again the market closed before the news came through. The Dow was up slightly, and if we look at the futures, the S&P E-mini is down 1.2% today. That's a big move. Anything over 1% heralds likely big falls on the market. And if we look at the Nasdaq, down 1.64% at the moment in London this morning. So again, expect the US markets to open much lower. What that means, of course, if we go back to looking at the cash markets, the Nasdaq will actually have potential to wipe out this bullish candle. We had a good week last week, and if we look at the S&P, last week was a down candle that actually ended up. We've got a sort of green candle that could wipe out this candle. These weekly candles, that bearish engulfing, is still hanging over the market. Taking a look at the VIX volatility, the fear index, we see here that we are up 8% this morning on the VIX, so that's leapt higher, putting it back into bullish territory on the short-term chart. So the market is obviously concerned about this Trump situation, and that is now pricing in more volatility for stocks. The FTSE future is down 0.7%. The cash market in Germany down just under 1%. European markets really reacting quite badly to these news, and we're seeing the CAC crump down as well. Japan was down just under 1%, and that was after a day where they had the market closed because of an IT glitch, so it's reacted pretty badly. Of course, it was able to absorb the US news, and we saw that Hong Kong and Chinese markets still closed for Chinese holidays, so no opening there. The Sensex in India was actually up 1.5% yesterday, but is closed again today, so that's quite key too. So these markets that have been closed for holidays are likely next week to fall if we see falls on the US today, which looks like we will. The Aussie market down 1.4%, and if we look at gold, we're actually up. Of course, gold tends to react positively to worrying news in the market, and so we're seeing gold back into short-term bullish territory. The long-term chart is still looking pretty strong. Silver is actually flat, little changed, and US 10-year yields, they were nudging 0.7%. They've fallen back quite significantly, back to 0.2%. Taking a look at the energy mix now, a lot of red on the screen. We were bearish on Brent Crude this week for clients, and that's looking to have paid off. Of course, we rolled into a new contract, but still bearish on the chart. This is rollover adjusted, and we see here just how Brent is falling to make new lows. If we make a new low below this level, the 38.19, 38.20 level, that would be very bad news for the market. So we need to just watch that. Of course, we've got downside targets. We'd activated these downside targets. The low 30s is now sort of beckoning on the longer term position. just can't accept the fact that this is a failure to make a new high, looking like a lower low. If we make a lower low, then that's a big trend change coming for Brent crude. WTI, of course, similarly down, and US nat gas is down 1.9%. So we're seeing that moves as well. Coal is down this morning as well. It's still looking pretty strong on the chart. Emissions sitting at 26.27. They basically have got support around this 26 euro mark, but we do have downward pressure with these targets, and 25 is the ultimate support level. So we are just seeing that testing the bottom of that range. There's quite big sentiment changes going on, of course. Gas prices down about 1% this morning. MBP front month is down 1.6%, so we are just seeing that trend breaking a little bit as well, and we've got downside targets there. Of course, these contracts are all rolled this week as well. Seasonal gas has come off a bit as well, and that's also rolled because we're at the half way mark for that contract. German power is down 1.3% and fallen to 40.3 euros. So that is looking a bit worrying. We have got some support at around 39 euros based on the lows we saw in August, but that is a bit worrying for German power. And that sentiment change is just seeing there we are at risk of falling there. We've got some downside targets. So short term, power is still looking like an ascending triangle, but just starting to look a little bit worrying on that support level. We need to hold 39 at least. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. I should say Monday. Have a great weekend. See you then.